told my mom, one of these days, these kids are gonna get hit. People drive too fast.
Coming up, after several major accidents at school bus stops across the nation this week, law enforcement agencies cracking down on safety. Plus, the Florida man accused of sending pipe bombs to prominent Democrats back in court. Will he be moved to New York for prosecution? And a Sarasota woman charged with manslaughter. How her charges are part of the state's crackdown on drug dealers or their role in the opioid epidemic. Your Suncoast News starts now.
You're watching ABC 7 News at noon.
Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for joining us. Our top story today at noon, the Florida man accused of sending pipe bombs to prominent Democrats and CNN due in South Florida court for a bail hearing today. As Elizabeth Herr reports, the big question is whether or not he'll be extradited to New York for prosecution.
This morning, Cesar Sayoc waiving his right to a pretrial detention hearing in Miami. The 56-year-old remaining in jail for now until he is transferred to New York to face federal charges. This as authorities remain on guard after discovering another suspicious package on Monday. This one addressed to CNN headquarters in Atlanta, prompting the mail sorting facility to evacuate and nearby streets to shut down. Officials confirming the latest package is similar to the 14 other bombs mailed across the country last week. According to law enforcement sources, the FBI has now compiled a long list of names and addresses said to be Sayoc's potential targets. Those names including politicians, media figures, and celebrities. Officials now in the process of notifying everyone on that list.
There may be other packages in transit now and other packages on the way.
Prosecutors believe Sayoc's white van, plastered with political stickers, may have been his workshop for making the devices. And investigators say the sole fingerprint found on one of the bombs matches Sayoc's. Allegations Sayoc's lawyers aren't buying.
And they are in their own paper say, well, we can't certify it. So is it a fingerprint or not? In one place it says it's a latent, and the other place says, yeah, but can't certify it yet, or maybe never.
Sayoc faces 5 federal charges here in New York, and prosecutors say he will be brought here by bus, and that trip could take up to 3 weeks. Elizabeth Herr, ABC News, New York.
Up to $10 million in hotel tax revenue will be used to help build a museum honoring the 49 victims of the Pulse nightclub shooting in Orlando. Orange County commissioners approving the payments this week. The money will go to a foundation dedicated to building that museum. It will be a sacred space that teaches visitors about the dangers of intolerance and discrimination. Officials with One Pulse Foundation say they'll start developing a design for the museum and memorial in the coming months. This has been a dangerous week for children heading to school. 5 children have died, 10 were injured in 6 separate major incidents just waiting to get on a school bus. The latest 2 crashes happening yesterday, one hitting close to home in Tampa. ABC 7's Marla Spence is here to tell us more about the incident and several important reminders for drivers. Marla?
Well, Scott, that incident in Tampa was a wake-up call for some drivers. 5 children and 2 adults were hit by a car while waiting at a bus stop Thursday. The driver is cooperating and has not been charged. One woman says she wasn't surprised when she heard what happened.
Actually, yesterday I told my mom, one of these days, these kids are gonna get hit. People drive too fast.
There's no need. If you're late or something, give yourself more time. But keep in mind, there's the little kids out here.
Now, in light of these recent accidents, officials want to remind drivers that it is illegal to pass a bus when it is stopped. Bus drivers are trained to check for clear roadways before letting students off the bus, but officials are still urging drivers to be patient and to use extra caution, especially when driving during school hours. Now, remember, if you're caught passing a stopped bus in Florida, you can be fined up to $265. Scott?
All right, Marla, thank you so much. Sarasota police are investigating a bicycle crash that left a rider injured near Newtown. It happened on US 301 at Dr. Martin Luther King Way last night. Police shut down the northbound lanes of 301 while medics treated the rider. They were flown to a trauma center with serious injuries. Investigators say it does appear the rider was at fault in this crash. This comes just days after a bicycle accident in Venice left 4 people in critical condition. That accident also still under investigation. A Sarasota woman is charged with manslaughter after investigators say she gave drugs to a woman who later overdosed and died. Sarasota County Sheriff's deputies say in September, Tiffany Johnson met Casey Tipp and another woman at a home in Venice. Deputies say Johnson gave the woman a brown powdery substance that appeared to be heroin, and the two women took the drug. Tip later overdosed and died. Johnson faces numerous charges, including manslaughter and the sale of fentanyl. Now, Florida has stiffened penalties to hold suspected drug dealers accountable for their role in opioid deaths. The law increases penalties for fentanyl possession, including charging drug dealers with murder if customers die from the potent painkiller. All right, Friday afternoon here on the Suncoast. Meteorologist John Scalzi is here with a look at our forecast, and I would bet there's some rain in the forecast. We've already seen some in the area.
Yeah, we have had a little bit. We had some yesterday. We had one shower move through. I got some good rain at my house.
Yeah, I did too.
That 20% we talked about yesterday. Today, we're talking about 70%. So I'd say yes, Scott, you're right. We're going to get some rainfall around. In fact, I've already been watching radar all morning long as the showers begin to form up around the Big Bend region. We're looking this morning at a little bit of fog once again, second day in a row that we've had some fog, dense at times. It quickly kind of cleared up, though, leaving a kind of mist on the environment. And that now is kind of giving way as the atmosphere, lower atmosphere anyway, gets mixed by some fairly strong winds out of the south. Still a lot of cloud cover around. That's going to hold down our heating for today. But there are the showers that we expect to see come our way a little bit later on this afternoon. And we've got some actually pretty good lightning pops associated with some of those storms. So thunderstorm activity is also in the cards for us a little later on, I suspect. For the next couple of hours, got about a 40% chance of a few scattered showers moving on in. Nothing really strong, but later in the day, we do have the potential of seeing some stronger storms around. We'll go with temperatures that aren't going to warm much more than they are right now. 80, 83 across the region. That's about as hot as it gets. And the winds are brisk out of the south, and that has increased problems with a little bit of red tide toxin in the air, according to Mote Marine spotters. Expect to see about a half an inch of rainfall in some locations, maybe in some locations even a little bit more, as we head toward that 70% chance of afternoon showers. Scott?
All right, John, thank you. ABC 7 business commentator Jeff Stern joins us now with a check of the day on Wall Street so far. And it's nice to see the markets taking a different direction this week compared to really the month of October.
That is correct. A lot of red last week and the whole month, but so far this week we've been strong, so that's good. Right now the Dow is looking up about 2.75 for the week. S&P right around 3%. NASDAQ's leading the way again, which we haven't seen in a while, 3.5% or so for the week. And there's been some talks the U.S. and China may agree on some sort of trade talk, so that's really helped the market. We know yesterday Apple came in, had great earnings, although their forecast was not looking good. Apple's way down, about 7% last I saw. 10-year treasuries ticked up a little bit, 3.18. Woke up this morning, which was a good surprise this whole week. It was positive, but let's see how we're currently trading. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is 25,244. Went negative 136 points, 0.5% the negative. NASDAQ negative as well, unfortunately, 7,356, down 77 points, just over 1%, while the S&P 2,724, down almost 16.5 points, just over 0.5%.
They did open up. Yeah.
They opened way up, which was nice to see.
Well, the October jobs report is out today. How does it look?
That is correct. We're expecting about 190,000 or so. They crushed it at 250,000 new jobs for the month of October. Unemployment remained right around 3.7%. Just to remind everybody, that's a 49-year low. Actually, average hourly wages growth, 3.1% year over year. We haven't been there since 2009. Just to go a little bit further in the numbers, 246,000 of that 250 were private. 4,000 for the government. Weekly increase of hours worked, 34.5. That's up. Pretty impressive. Participation rates even up, 62.9. That measures the people who are of age to work that are actually participating in the work market. So all of this has been positive. It's probably going to have give the Fed some more ammunition to raise the rates one more time. That would be 4 for 2018. I think that's why we saw the markets turn a little negative. So we'll see what happens by the end of the day.
All right. We'll watch it. Thank you so much, Jeff.
Have a great weekend.
You
Scott.
too. Still to come on your Suncoast News, a big win for some patients who use medical marijuana. We'll take a look at what the approval of a cannabis-based medication will mean for them. And a cancer scan that has led to the arrest of 3 people. We'll tell you about the scheme that tugs on people's heartstrings. Coming up.
The ABC 7 Stock Report is sponsored by Sunset Cadillac.
Every time you purchase a fishing license or register your boat, you're helping to preserve our nation's coastlines, lakes, rivers, and streams, protecting memories for generations to come. Learn how your participation in boating and fishing can help the environment at takemefishing.org/conservation.
Blue 32, Blue 32, hot, hot. It's the Gatto Gridiron Challenge. The game's on to sell 2,000 vehicles. 12 teams compete for the #1 spot. Score a great deal at every Gatto dealership. Buy with 0 down. Make no payments for 90 days. Choose from 14 of your favorite brands, all on sale. Who will make it to the end zone? You decide. Rush to a Gatto location near you or visit Gatto.com.
Gatto's got it.
This fall, experience golf at a higher level, where the courses are exceptionally beautiful and incredibly challenging. On Alabama's Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, enjoy unlimited golf, including cart and range balls from $112 a day. Beautiful, deadly, irresistible. Is your game ready for the trail? Call 800-949-4444 or visit rtjgolf.com for tee times and get your game on. The Trail.
This is an important message for anyone with Medicare. You may be eligible for an all-in-one Medicare plan that combines hospital, medical, and prescription drug coverage together with extra benefits that may include dental, vision, hearing aids, and much more. Some of these plans have a $0 monthly premium regardless of your income. That's right. For one low plan premium, or in some cases a $0 premium, you may be able to get coverage for your hospital visits, doctor appointments, prescription drugs, routine dental care, eyeglasses and contact lenses, hearing aids, and possibly more. Today may be the first time you've heard about this type of Medicare plan. The advisors at the Medicare.com helpline are licensed insurance agents who will explain more when you call. Call now to see if you qualify. Call the number on your screen now. Call now to see if you qualify for these benefits. You worked hard for your Medicare. Now is the time for your Medicare to work hard for you. Not affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program.
When my youngest, Addie, was 2.5, she was diagnosed with leukemia. When we first heard that diagnosis, you feel extremely alone. Walking in that Light the Night light with 6,000 people carrying lights, white for survivors, red for supporters, gold in memory of those who have passed. It's the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society's hope that every year there are fewer gold lanterns. Your lantern will make a difference. Start a team, join a team.
Help us light the night.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
80-degree air temperature. We have a dew point value about as high as it gets in winter, really. 76 for a dew point. That's definitely an August-like dew point value. So significant change in our moisture content of our air thanks to that south wind now coming in briskly at about 16. It'll be up throughout the day today. In fact, it'll even turn a little bit more southwest as we head into the second half of the afternoon. We have rain chances that are escalating this afternoon. Right now at about 40%. By the time we get to 3 p.m., it'll be about 70%. And somewhere between 3 p.m. and 7 p.m., I bet you the rain chance is 100% as those rain showers move through. They'll start trending back down again as we get to 7 p.m. and then decrease to about 30 during the overnight when we may have a scattered shower or two. But that period about 4, 5, 6 o'clock, that is the time when you're going to see the heavier thunderstorms move through here and rain showers. Some of the thunderstorms could be strong, perhaps even severe, so we'll watch for that. A line of showers extends up the eastern seaboard back to down east Maine. All of this is associated with the low pressure area and the frontal boundary moving through our area, through the state of Florida anyway, currently soon to be through our area. You can see the line of showers now moving through about Cross City back out into Gulf waters. Some of them pretty heavy here in this line and gradually drifting closer to us. We've got lots of lightning pops associated with the storm. In fact, lightning is detectable even further out than our thunderstorm activity as seen by radar. So we can see some thunderstorm activity way back out here in Gulf waters over 150 miles out. Right now, a few light showers moving across areas of Holmes Beach and Anna Maria Island, getting closer to the Skyway Bridge, areas down around Pasadena and St. Petersburg, getting some rainfall on up to about Clearwater Beach, perhaps getting a little bit of rain shower activity. All of these kind of hit and miss showers will be with us for the next several hours till we get the actual line moving through later in the day. The frontal boundary still back to the west will approach and eventually just kind of stall out down to the south. It'll bring us a beautiful day tomorrow. I think we'll kind of be beating back clouds for the first half of the day, but we'll get some drier air working in here as the wind shift to the northwest. But that's only one day's worth, because then that stalled front will lift back north as a warm front and then kind of wag its tail over the state of Florida for several days, bringing unsettled weather and chances of rain each day of the beginning of next work week. So we'll watch for increasing cloud cover, lower cloud bases as we head into the next several hours, darker clouds, and it will continue to be breezy throughout the afternoon. We'll get the late day showers and thunderstorms around drive time this evening, and then the sun returns on Saturday, probably in the second half of the day, and then showers are back on Sunday. If you look at where the severe weather threat is, it's been nudged a little bit further to the south now, and it includes parts of Manatee County and Sarasota County, and then up mostly in the northern parts of the state. There's about a 2% risk of tornadic activity and about a 5% risk of severe thunderstorm wind damage kind of activity. So we'll watch for that. It's not a big risk, but it's there, and especially we're on the very southern edge of that risk zone, so mostly it's going to be up to the north of us. The futurecast shows the showers setting south and then around 4 o'clock moving into our area, lasting till about 7 or 8 o'clock, and then we get scattered showers thereafter. So the forecast looks like this. A southwest wind at about 15 turning west this evening with a 70% chance of showers. Well, I should make that 100% chance of showers a little bit later on this evening. 83 the temperature we'll go with, and then Saturday a little bit more sunshine. Sunday, chance of rain again. Don't forget clocks back. And then as we head into next work week, let's call it unsettled weather and warm. Scott?
John, thank you so much. It is lunchtime, so let's get over to the kitchen and say hello to ABC 7 Culinary Director Judy Gallagher and find out what's for lunch today. Hi, Judy.
Well, hi there, Scott. Yes, it's countdown to Thanksgiving. Of course, Scott, you were teasing me. It was countdown to Thanksgiving in September for me. I love this holiday. It's my favorite. You know, when I was a child, my mother made that green bean casserole with canned cream of mushroom soup and those canned onion rings, and I used to love it. And then I got to this point where I thought, I don't love this. This tastes like chemicals. Alton Brown from the Food Network came up with the most genius recipe. We're going to toss some fresh sliced onions into panko crumbs and flour, salt and pepper, roast them in the oven just to get them slightly crispy, little burnt edges. We're taking out our cast iron pan because it can go from stove right to oven. Fresh green beans, I've already blanched them and then immediately dropped them into a bath of ice water and drain so it stops the cooking process. Very important. So I'm going to add the mushrooms to the pan, and when you come back, we will saute it up, but good.
Recovery from mental and substance use disorders is real. You can recover. It's possible. It happens every day.
Never give up on yourself.
Discover hope and help.
I thought I was too far gone. I wasn't.
Join the Voices for Recovery.
The world is a beautiful place again.
For 24-hour free and confidential information and treatment referral for mental and substance use disorders for you or someone you know, call 1-800-662-HELP.
Monday at 9 on Suncoast View.
Parish history comes alive on stage. I'm Linda Carson. On Suncoast View, Parish Playworks previews their show called Southern Hospitality. A world-famous sand sculptor tells us about the Crystal Classic sand sculpting competition, and an internationally renowned beauty expert is here on the Suncoast. Plus, Whole Foods has Thanksgiving tips in our kitchen.
Monday at 9 on Suncoast View.
Performing on stage takes mental and physical preparation. But one thing I never thought to prepare for was cervical cancer. 91% of cervical cancers are caused by the human papillomavirus, or HPV. The good news is there are vaccines that can protect you or your children from cancer. I survived my cancer, but you can stop cancer before it starts. Talk to your doctor and go to thinkaboutthelink.org to learn more.
Everything all right?
Actually, you know how Tom had knee surgery?
Sure.
We found out Brad's been taking his painkillers. And it turns out he's been doing it for a while.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
My life motto is keep moving. And as hard as it was when my husband passed away, I knew I had to keep doing what I love. Oops, coming. But I needed help with my insurance, and that's what the NAIC provides. They have resources to help you and your family make the best decision, and they'll help you to keep moving forward, just like me.
Support the Hurricane Michael Relief and Disaster Fund by donating to the United Way of Northwest Florida today. Help communities rise and rebuild after the devastating mess left behind. Every donation makes a difference and is appreciated. Together, we are all Panhandle Strong.
Check out mysuncoast.com/dining, your guide to the foodie lifestyle.
Time to meet our pet of the week. John is with the founder of Dante's Den and host of Animal Outtakes, Marsha Panucci, to tell us about the adorable Jazzy.
Jazzy. Jazzy is awesome,
Isn't
Marsha.
she, though?
Jazzy is an Akita.
Yes, she is. And look at the beautiful coloring. You know, we normally see them white and caramel and white and black. She is what's called a pinto color.
Pinto.
And she's got a number of colors in her, which of course make her just so beautiful. But you know, John, what makes her more beautiful is the soul that we have in this dog. She has never met anybody she doesn't love, whether it be a dog, whether it be children, whether it would be a human. She is just nothing but love, John. And you know, she's had a bad history. She was neglected and she was severely abused. And but now her life is turning around, and hopefully she will go into somebody's home where they will just love her for the rest of her life. She's a young dog, John.
Is she? How old
Yeah,
is she?
she's only about 4.5.
She needs a good meal, this dog.
She's a little thin. Little thin, but she's working at it. I wish I could say that.
No, me too.
I
yeah,
need
right?
to put on
I
weight
know,
to, you know.
I know.
But she's just doing very, very great. And you know, it always amazes me, John, when the most neglected and abused animals forgive.
Oh, yeah.
They forgive
Totally.
completely, and she's just full of love.
Yeah, we won't even talk about how she was abused,
No,
but it was not a pretty picture.
No, it wasn't. But you know what was very interesting? I had Jazzy at Dante's Den 3 years ago. She went back to Animal Services for whatever reasons. We just kind of kept her. And I only had her for a couple of months, and do you know, when I went into the green room, she ran up and she kissed me.
Aww,
she remembered,
you.
and I remembered her. So, but she is perfect. She loves to ride in cars. She loves to walk, and but most of all, she loves to cuddle and kiss you.
Oh, I love that. Process of adoption is to?
Well, is to contact the Akita Rescue Society of Florida at 603-289-8899.
Marsha, I hope she gets a home. I hope this show does it. Jazzy, you are such a special animal. You really are. Give them a call. Make her part of your home. Thanks, Marsha.
Thanks, John.
Scott?
Thank you both. In Health Smart today, for the first time, the FDA gives the green light for a cannabis-based medication to be available in all 50 states. Epidiolex is an oral solution for treating people with 2 forms of epilepsy. Doctors are also allowed to prescribe the drug for other conditions. The medication was recommended for approval in April and approved by the FDA in June. In September, the DOJ and the DEA classified it as a Schedule 5 substance, clearing the final hurdle for it to be legally prescribed by doctors in the U.S. It's available for patients who are 2 years old and up. 3 people are facing charges for scamming people in upstate New York out of hundreds of dollars. The trio accused of going door to door and collecting money for 6-year-old cancer victim Kaylee Marshfield. Police say they downloaded her picture from a news website and then told people they represented Kicking It with Kaylee, which is a real campaign designed to raise money for her fight against cancer. But the 3 have nothing to do with that campaign. Kaylee's father says using her to steal money from people is despicable.
It's infuriating when someone goes around using your daughter to collect money. Like you're helpless. There's nothing you do about it. You know, you feel angry for the people that donated to somebody that's scum, excuse me, but you don't do that.
Well, it turned out to be a great day, though, for Kaylee. Not only were the scammers busted, but she got the news that she's now cancer-free. We wish her the best. Well, what's better than DEET when it comes to bug spray? Well, apparently coconut oil is effective. According to a U.S. Department of Agriculture bulletin, compounds derived from coconut oil have been found to repel some insects better than DEET. The recent USDA study found that fatty acids derived from coconut oil had long-lasting insect-repelling properties against flies, ticks, bed bugs, and mosquitoes. The findings are significant in part because of safety concerns that are associated with DEET. Back to the kitchen now. Let's check in on a pre-Thanksgiving dish from culinary director Judy Gallagher.
We're taking that old green bean casserole and totally changing it to freshness. I've sauteed about 2 pounds of mostly button mushrooms, threw in a few shiitake and baby portobellos. Now let's get over to the onions. You know, there are better upscale brands of the French fried onion ring. If you want to omit this step, I kind of like this because it doesn't taste all fried. But here's what we do. We're going to take panko breadcrumbs, and we're going to take about a half to a third of a cup of flour. Then what we're going to do is just going to toss that around with our hands. I have a sheet pan already prepared that I've sprayed with food release. And then if you want to, you can just put a dab or two of butter on the pan and that will kind of drizzle over. But we want to give the onions a chance, even though they're not being dipped in anything. It's a dry breading that butter will come together and just give it a little something extra. So we're going to toss that twice, and then we're just going to spread it on the pan, seeing that I've sliced the onions fairly thin. The big pieces you're going to wait and put on a separate sheet pan separately, or just give them one more slice. There. Okay, so we've tossed it in this light crumb mixture, and I'm going to just put a little bit more on top. Salt and pepper, that's going in the oven. 15 or 20 minutes at a 400-degree temperature is a really good temperature to put those into. I already have one batch that's come out because we're going to mix that in, and they're going to look just like that. A little burnt on the edges. I love that texture. Now, to the butter, I added salt, pepper, and some truffle salt. And I like getting the little small pan containers because that way they're nice and fresh. 1 or 2 cloves of garlic, and we'll mix that in. And let's get a little fresh thyme in there. We won't throw the twigs in, so we'll just start from the tip, the narrow tip, and pull down, and then you get your herbs just so. So we'll give this a saute for about, I'm going to say about 2 more minutes. And then we're going to start to make the sauce when we come back. Green beans are blanched, ready to go. I am almost ready to bring it to this whole new level, get the pan in the oven, and it's going to be so good. I'll be back in a few minutes to finish up.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
There are lots of people who are confused about which Medicare plan is right for them.
Hey, that's me. I barely know where to start.
Well, start here with me, Karen. I'm a licensed Humana sales agent.
Well, it's nice to meet you, Karen. I'm John Smith.
Hi, John. At Humana, we know you're unique, so you have different needs from other John Smiths.
Yeah, I've always thought so.
And together, we can find a plan that's right for you.
Great. I go to the doctor a couple of times a year, and I have some prescriptions, but I'm never fully sure of what's covered and what's not.
With Humana's all-in-one Medicare Advantage plans, you get coverage for hospital stays, doctor visits, and Part D prescription drug benefits, all for an affordable and sometimes no monthly plan premium.
Do you have any more information?
Sure, I'll get a decision guide in the mail to you today. They're free.
Finally, someone who understands the real me.
Your health and happiness is important to us. Call or go online now to get your free decision guide. Call a licensed Humana sales agent today.
Okay, so what would you bring to my company?
What do you need?
I need problem-solving skills.
I got through high school without a car, a phone, or a computer.
No college degree, though.
Not yet, but life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
Are you a food lover, restaurant goer, or home cook? Then check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC 7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, and helpful step-by-step videos. And you'll love the restaurant guide with direct links to your favorite Suncoast eateries. Whether you're cooking in or dining out, whet your appetite with tasty tips from Chef Judy at mysuncoast.com/dining. Keep up with the Suncoast. Watch your favorite ABC 7 shows on your streaming device.
Hear from the unsung heroes at the other end of those 911 calls. Plus, the countdown to Election Day will break down the voter turnout so far on the Suncoast. Deadly bus crash overseas. Could a passenger fighting with the driver be to blame?
You're watching ABC 7 News at 12:30.
Welcome back. Our top story at 12:30. Early voting ends tomorrow in both Sarasota and Manatee counties. Your next chance to vote after that is Election Day on Tuesday. Now, thousands of people have already cast their ballots since early voting started on October 22nd, and the number of early voters only expected to climb today and tomorrow. In Sarasota County, more than 118,000 voters have already cast their ballots, whether they've early voted or voted by mail, which is about a 37% voter turnout already. In Manatee County, more than 84,000 registered voters have cast their ballots so far. We're told the governor's race and the number of amendments and issues on the ballot is what's contributing to the high turnout. That and the number of younger voters being moved to vote.
But what it is happening is we have a very divided America and a very divided Florida right now. And yet we see this younger generation is tending to register as no party affiliation because they don't like what seems to be the immovable picture that they see for both of the two mainstream parties.
If you haven't voted early yet, you still have some time. The polls will close tonight at 6:30 and then reopen tomorrow morning at 8:30. For a list of all the locations you can go to our website, mysuncoast.com. Well, it's not just here on the Suncoast that we're seeing record voter turnout. Across the nation, more than 27 million votes have been cast so far. And as ABC's Janae Norman reports, President Trump is putting immigration at the focus of discussion before people go to the polls.
4 days out from midterm elections, and the Trump administration was welcomed with a very strong jobs report. But the economy is not what the president has been focused on.
If you don't want America to be overrun by masses of illegal aliens and giant caravans, you better vote Republican.
His focus has been on undocumented immigrants, ramping up his rhetoric to rally his base, demonizing the caravans of migrants, many poor and fleeing violence, that are still hundreds of miles from the U.S. border, and Mexican officials say the number is decreasing by the day. But the president says he'll be sending thousands of U.S. troops to the southern border to stop the migrants from entering the country, and he's promising a new executive order to crack down on those seeking asylum, a step sure to set up a legal fight. And he wants to potentially detain families indefinitely and house migrants in tent cities along the border.
We're putting up massive cities of tents. We have thousands of tents. We have a lot of tents. We have a lot of everything. We're going to hold them.
And President Trump making the false claim that it was President Obama who separated immigrant families at the border and that it was Trump who reunited them.
Under President Obama, they separated children from the parents. We actually put it so that that didn't happen. But what happens when you do that is you get tremendous numbers of people coming.
President Trump says those 15,000 troops he'll send to the border would use their weapons against the caravan if migrants throw rocks. To rally his base, he's been using this hardline immigration rhetoric by our count every day for the last 3 weeks. Janae Norman, ABC News, Washington.
This afternoon, we're learning more about the people on the other end of the 911 calls from last weekend's shooting at a Pittsburgh synagogue. 911 operators were left shaken after taking calls from worshipers inside the Tree of Life synagogue. Rabbi Jeffrey Myers called 911 when a gunman entered the synagogue Saturday and opened fire. Bruce Carlton answered his call. He's being credited with saving the rabbi's life by keeping him on the phone and away from the gunman. Carlton said he was physically shaking for several minutes after he hung up with Myers.
It all seemed so surreal, like it wasn't happening.
It was a call that you never hope to get, and but you're trained to handle in the event that it does come in.
Other operators described hearing gunshots and screams over the phone as the tragic events unfolded, but there was no time for panic. Instead, their emergency training took over. Robert Bowers is charged with 48 counts, including federal hate crimes and the shooting death of 11 people at that synagogue. He pleaded not guilty and requested a jury trial yesterday, and it's likely prosecutors will seek the death penalty. Here on the Suncoast, the community is looking to honor those who were killed. The American Jewish Committee and the Jewish Federation of Sarasota Manatee encouraging people to attend Suncoast synagogues this weekend. The Show Up for Shabbat initiative launched after last weekend's attack. The goal, to fill synagogues in a demonstration of solidarity and unity against anti-Semitism and hate. Whatever your religion, you are welcome in a synagogue this weekend, or anytime really, but you know, we're hearing from people from all religions that they're going to go and show up and support you know, those who were lost in this tragedy.
Lovely services at synagogues. I've been in there. They're wonderful. They're wonderful. We are looking at some very pleasant conditions across the Sun Coast as we head into tomorrow. Today, not so much. We've got a lot of cloud cover out there. We're going to have some showers. We're going to have some thunderstorms right around drive time, too. And the Sarasota Bay webcam shows the cloud cover that just really rolled in this morning. And high, thin clouds initially, but then it didn't take long for the lower base clouds to start filling the sky. And that has pretty much cut off the heating now. We're watching showers begin to make their march closer to us. They're still a good distance offshore, and it will be another several hours before they get close enough to bring us better chances of rainfall. But for the next couple of hours, we got about a 40% chance of a passing shower, brief passing shower. We do have some big thunderstorms out in Gulf waters, though. It's developing a pretty strong line of those storms, and there is a good chance that some of the storms could produce some gusty winds and some heavy downpours of rainfall a little bit later on today. Temperatures holding at about the 80 mark near the coastline, a little bit warmer inland, and winds really breezy, kind of kicking up the red tide issues too. Some of the reports indicating some higher levels of red tide around. The rainfall future cast points to perhaps some 1-inch rainfalls as the systems move across in isolated pockets, with about a 70% chance of rain showers today. That shouldn't read 86. That should read 83. I don't know how that happened. Complete forecast for you coming up in just a few. Scott?
John, thank you. Police say a brawl between a passenger and a bus driver was the cause of the bus plunging off a bridge in southwestern China. Chinese police releasing video showing the moments before that bus went over the bridge. You can see the driver and a passenger arguing when the passenger eventually hits him. That's when the bus collided with an oncoming car before smashing through a guardrail and plunging off the bridge. Rescuers recovered the wreck of the bus Wednesday night. None of the 13 people on board survived. A big announcement for the 2032 Olympics. North and South Korea have officially agreed to inform the International Olympic Committee of their intent to co-host those games. The move comes amid reconciliation efforts. The two nations are already planning on sending a combined team to the World Handball Championships in January, and then to the 2020 Tokyo Summer Games. The largest public photo exhibit in North America is now up at Nathan Benderson Park. The Fence exhibit will be on display until the end of January. The traveling attraction draws more than 6 million visitors each year through open-air exhibits like this. Each photo series has a theme or tells a story.
This is a nationally renowned art exhibit for photography that stems from a photographic contest that goes on that's organized by the United Photo Industries out of Brooklyn. There are only 8 cities that are hosting the Fence, and Sarasota is lucky enough to be one of them.
The 7-year-old project works to promote the art of photography. The event is free and it features work from around the world. Check it out if you can. Back to the kitchen now and check in on that green bean casserole with Judy Gallagher.
Scott, I know you're not a huge veggie fan, but you might kind of like this with the twist I'm doing. So now we've sauteed those delicious mushrooms with some good old-fashioned Irish butter because the holidays deserve the best. A little bit of fresh thyme, we have a little truffle salt. Oh, I love truffle salt, and some regular salt and pepper. So we're gonna let the flour coat the mushrooms. See how we do that? That have been absorbed up in that mushroom liquid. So now we need to add some half and half, about a half a cup. And then we're gonna get into some chicken stock or chicken broth. Be careful, use a good high quality brand that does not use MSG. Please read the labels, okay? Because that is just, if you have a guest that has sensitivity to MSG, it's really gonna throw their time off. So we're gonna give this a moment just to cook down a little bit, as you can see. And perhaps just a teeny bit more flour. It's easier to get the flour in before you start getting the liquid so you don't get lumps. But as long as you're working really hard to move it along, oh yeah, then a pinch of nutmeg. Just a little to add that fall seasoning. Now the consistency right here is beautiful, right? And remember, it's homemade. Here are those crispy onions. The next batch is in the oven. And they are not fried, they are oven baked. And now we're gonna take these green beans that we blanched and then immediately stuck them into an ice bath. And we're gonna go ahead and toss that around. Now we're gonna take the onions, the leftover ones, out of the oven. I'm gonna make this just slightly thinner. Cut that down, maybe a half a cup more chicken stock, because remember, things thicken and they continue to thicken, okay? So here comes the fun part, nothing like a cast iron pan to serve off of. And then we'll take the second batch of onions out. And we're just gonna kind of toss them, put them on the top a little bit. These are lightly browned, so not quite as charred as we have in the mixture, but we're gonna get some of those toasted panko crumbs right on top. Ooh la la, I just love it. It's going in the oven for 20 minutes, 425. It'll be bubbly and delicious. And now hopefully my mama approves that I modernized this recipe thanks to Alton Brown. We'll be back for a taste in just a moment.
You like to pay less. That's why you made Honda Accord the best-selling mid-size car in America. Get the redesigned Accord, the North American Car of the Year, or Civic, a KBB.com Best Buy for less than the competition. Like SUVs and trucks? Get Motor Trend's SUV of the Year, CR-V, the 8-passenger Pilot, or Ridgeline truck for up to $4,240 less. Today at your local Honda dealer.
Enjoy fine wine and great foods, all while supporting a great cause. It's the 17th annual Suncoast Food and Wine Fest, happening Saturday, November 10th from 1 to 4 p.m. at the Premier Sports Campus in Lakewood Ranch. Taste hundreds of wines from around the world and sample great food from the area's finest restaurants. All proceeds go to local charities and Rotary projects. For tickets and information, visit suncoastfoodandwinefest.com.
This is an important message for anyone with Medicare. You may be eligible for an all-in-one Medicare plan that combines hospital, medical, and prescription drug coverage together with extra benefits that may include dental, vision, hearing aids, and much more. Some of these plans have a $0 monthly premium regardless of your income. That's right. For one low plan premium, or in some cases a $0 premium, you may be able to get coverage for your hospital visits, doctor appointments, prescription drugs, routine dental care, eyeglasses and contact lenses, hearing aids, and possibly more. Today may be the first time you've heard about this type of Medicare plan. The advisors at the Medicare.com helpline are licensed insurance agents who will explain more when you call. Call now to see if you qualify. Call the number on your screen now. Call now to see if you qualify for these benefits. You worked hard for your Medicare. Now is the time for your Medicare to work hard for you. Not affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program.
Helping families with mesothelioma is all we do. My firm has been offering a free book on mesothelioma for over 10 years. Since that time, hundreds of people with mesothelioma have trusted us to represent them. We have local offices throughout the U.S. and there is no risk to you. Mesothelioma really is all we do. Call us at 1-800-485-6000. That's 1-800-485-6000. Or go to mesoonlylaw.com.
Support the Hurricane Michael Relief and Disaster Fund by donating to the United Way of Northwest Florida today. Help communities rise and rebuild after the devastating mess left behind. Every donation makes a difference and is appreciated. Together, we are all Panhandle Strong.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So we've got an 80-degree temperature, and we're probably going to hold just about there because of the cloud cover that's around, providing kind of a insulating cutoff for the sunshine heating the land. Dew point value is about as high as it gets, as much moisture as an atmosphere really can contain during the winter time. It's 76-degree dew point. That is really warm. And that brings us up to a 87% relative humidity. South wind breezy right now at about 15, and that'll be the case throughout the afternoon and into the evening, maybe even turning a little bit more westerly as we head into the evening. And again, that'll aggravate the red tide issues a little bit, I think, and some Mote Marine spotters have indicated kind of an uptick in the amount of irritant in the air near our beaches because of that general southerly wind flow that has increased. 83 degrees we'll go with by about 3 p.m. Daytime high today is probably about that, 83 degrees. Rain chance at 3 p.m. about 70%. By the time we get to 4, 5, 6 o'clock, probably up to about 100%. Almost everybody's going to get some rainfall a little bit later on. By 7 p.m. we'll start to decrease again down to about 70%, and then as we head into the evening hours, 30% should do it into the overnight with just a scattered shower or two around. We have a line of showers stretching down the eastern seaboard. That's a frontal boundary and a low-pressure area off the northeastern coast. Another low-pressure area will develop south of that and help pull the cold front through our area. It's looking pretty energized at this moment out there in Gulf waters with lots of thunderstorm activity, kind of a solid line developing. There will be a tendency for this to weaken just a little bit as it approaches our coastline, but still, I think some of the thunderstorms are going to hold together, and we could get some periods of heavier rainfall under some of those thunderstorms as they move rapidly through our area. Now, I don't think we'll see a lot in the way of a severe weather risk here, but we are in the very southern edge of a moderate zone for the chance of seeing some severe weather with some of these storms as they move onshore. Because of the winds that are so elevated in our atmosphere right now, there's a little bit of a spin in the atmosphere. So we've got about a 2% chance of a quick spin up of a tornado, and about a 5% chance that some of these storms could produce some pretty good winds that could do some straight line damage. That's mostly going to be up to the north of us as these bigger storm systems lift up to the north. But as the whole line progresses southward, it will tend to weaken so that we're just on the very southern edge of the chance of that. You can see how they kind of fall apart as they sink south, and high pressure built in back behind it. So today, increasing cloud cover, staying breezy throughout the afternoon. We have those late day showers and a thunderstorm or two, particularly around drive time this evening. Then we'll see some clearing tomorrow, probably in the second half of the day, and then the showers will return on Sunday. Watch the timing. The storms approach. Some of them could be heavy occasionally. One or two of them might have some stronger returns by around 3:30, 4 o'clock, moving onshore through about 6 or 7 o'clock, and then a few scattered showers left over during the evening hours as we head into tomorrow morning. Maybe a little bit of clearing will start to occur, and I think by the time we get to lunchtime tomorrow, we'll have some sunshine out there, lower humidity, and more pleasant weather. You can watch on the satellite view, the high-resolution satellite view, the big storms beginning to build out here, and some of these storms producing lightning pops still a good distance away, about 120 miles or better. So we're still talking about another 3-4 hours before they make it on shore. By the way, in the tropics, everything looks quiet right now. Nothing looks like it's going to forecast to develop here over the next 7 days. Southwest wind at about 15, and the forecast for the week ahead looks like this. Today, 70% chance of showers, well, 100% really at times. And then tomorrow, some clearing. The front returns on Sunday with another chance of rainfall. Don't forget those clocks go back, and then kind of unsettled for the beginning of next work week and warm. Scott?
Hey, hey, ho, ho. Cover up some dogs who go. Google employees are fed up. Thousands of workers walked off the job to protest how the company handles sexual harassment. It all comes a week after a New York Times story detailed allegations of sexual misconduct against Andy Rubin, the creator of Google's Android software. The report claims an internal investigation found the allegations against him credible, yet Rubin walked away in 2014 with a $90 million severance package. Rubin insists the story is inaccurate, but workers want changes. They're demanding Google end pay inequality, issue reports on sexual harassment, and create a better process for reporting complaints. Toyota is recalling more than 1 million vehicles around the world that may have airbag problems. In the U.S., the recall affects 17,000 Scion cars made between 2004 and 2006. Toyota says a short circuit could cause the airbag to go off at the wrong time. Dealers will replace the airbag control unit, and owners will be notified by December. Still to come in your Suncoast News, we'll check in one more time with Chef Judy in the kitchen, and then a big announcement by Will Smith and Martin Lawrence that is sure to get fans of Bad Boys pumped up.
Blue 32, Blue 32, hot, hot. It's the Gatto Gridiron Challenge. The game's on to sell 2,000 vehicles. 12 teams compete for the #1 spot. Score a great deal at every Gatto dealership. Buy with 0 down. Make no payments for 90 days. Choose from 14 of your favorite brands, all on sale. Who will make it to the end zone? You decide. Rush to a Gatto location near you or visit Gatto.com.
Gatto's got it.
You know, fortunately, this was my first job out of college, so I was able to come back home and work in my hometown. I wore 2 hats. I was sports director and I was a news anchor. I did that for a few years and then decided to go full-time into news. Well, I love our team here at ABC7. We have a great mix, and it really is a great mix of personalities, of experience that meshes really well into a really strong team. I'm Scott Dennis, and I'm here for you.
To be able to just get my son here and not think about how we will pay for it, it just takes so much weight off of my family. St. Jude allowed me to focus on being a mom to Bryce. And sometimes I'm just in awe of the impact St. Jude has, not only on this community, but the world.
I'm Anne. I'm a scientist.
Recycling takes a team.
Why don't you let me and me help you out?
Everyone plays a part. Don't trash
I love taking stuff apart and building new things out of it.
what could be treasure.
Pal's my most advanced android. This is awesome. You haven't seen anything yet.
Give your cardboard box another life. Recycle.
Selfless service is the principle that guides Army National Guard soldiers to be ready whenever disaster strikes. They have a stake in the well-being of the neighborhoods where they live and work. They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times. Selfless service. It's what inspires the men and women of the Army National Guard to be part of something greater than themselves. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more.
Get local news and information from the team you trust. Like ABC7 WWSB on Facebook to stay connected to the Suncoast.
Hey, we're back.
Oh, we're back. Hi, everyone.
We're talking about be careful, it's hot in the oven and steamy hot. Cast iron green bean casserole. Ooh, trust me on this. Alton Brown is, by the way, is coming back. You'll see him on TV more. I love the man. He explains everything. I think this works perfectly with those onions that are not fried. They're oven crisped and layers of flavor, and add truffle salt. It'll do you good.
It's really good.
Thank you.
Recipe?
Recipe is on now. It's on mysuncoast.com and click on the Suncoast View, I believe, and you will find the recipes and videos there.
Absolutely delicious. Judy,
Thank
thanks very much for sharing that. Delicious.
My pleasure.
Just in time for Thanksgiving. Scott?
Thank you both. Coming up later today on ABC7 News at 4, 2 former Florida House speakers are hoping a new initiative can help Northwest Florida rebuild after Hurricane Michael. Plus, we'll hear what Sarasota County schools are doing to provide students with proper mental health counseling. We hope to see you later today at 4. Late musician Chris Cornell's family is accusing the Soundgarden frontman's doctor of wrongdoing leading up to a suicide. The lawsuit claims Cornell's doctor overprescribed the anti-anxiety drug lorazepam. The possible side effect of the drug is increased risk of suicide. The suit also claims the doctor prescribed Cornell the painkiller oxycodone, but there were no medical exams conducted when those prescriptions were authorized. The family is requesting a jury trial for economic and non-economic damages.
Yo, I'm telling y'all, this is crazy. Wait, just wait. It's official. It's official, baby. It's official. Bad Boys 3.
That's right. It took 15 years, but Will Smith and Martin Lawrence are back. They're pretty happy about it, aren't they? The two confirmed on Instagram they are locked in for Bad Boys for Life. The franchise's original producer is also returning for the third installment, and Sony has set Bad Boys for Life for release sometime in 2020. Funny movies.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah,
I like
definitely.
fun.
Yes.
Sounds good.
I never heard of it.
We'll do a binge watch party at his house.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
No,
Okay.
I didn't.
Well, at least watch the first one.
Yeah.
The first one's really good. Yeah.
Showers later on today. Bob will be entered for it to track them on radar for you.
Bad Boys.
I will have to rent that one.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again at 4 o'clock. Have a great day, everyone.
Many websites selling medication may look professional and legitimate, but the vast majority of sites selling prescription drugs are doing so illegally. Criminals use websites to sell counterfeit medications that may contain life-threatening toxins. Dot Pharmacy is a website verification program that helps you identify safe and trustworthy online pharmacies. Purchasing medicine online can be safe and easy. Just look for pharmacy to the right of the dot in website addresses.
About every 3 minutes in America, someone is diagnosed with a blood cancer. Light the Night brings together survivors and supporters to bring light to the darkness of cancer and to help fund life-saving research. Our goal is a world without blood cancers, and we're lighting the path to cures. The discoveries made in blood cancer research have led to breakthrough treatments for many cancers and other serious diseases. Help defeat the darkness of cancer. Join Light the Night today.
All hands on deck. What's up? I want to point out 3 tips for using the home computer more safely. Point away.
First, stop. Make sure your software is up to date and that you've password protected your computer's login and Wi-Fi connection.
Next, think before visiting a site, opening attachments, or clicking on links.
Then connect, knowing you're helping make the web safer for you
and for everyone. Make Stop, Think, Connect part of your daily online routine.
Florida's coral reefs are declining. Bad news for our oceans and marine life. Fortunately, you can help, and you don't have to dive, you just have to drive. When you purchase Moat's Protect Our Reefs license plate, $25 goes directly to Moat Marine Laboratory, whose research, restoration, and conservation programs are helping this precious natural resource thrive once again. So get your Moat Protect Our Reefs license plate today. You just might hold the key to saving Florida's reefs.
Parkinson's disease is trying to slow us down, but we are strong because we are together. So let's go. Let's reach. Let's fight. Let's move. The Parkinson's Foundation is making life better for people with Parkinson's disease. And now it's time for you to join the movement. Moving Day is here, and we are counting on you. Sign up to walk because people who move change the world.
Download the all-new ABC7 First Alert weather app now.